Okay, in this video I'm going to do some proofs in Carnap. This is the first set of practice problems. I'm going to do the first 6, and these are the same arguments, the same proofs that I did in these 2 videos. So if you've watched these 2 videos, then you have some idea about how to do these proofs. You might want to try them yourself once you get an idea about how to use Carnap. But in any case, I'll just show you how to use Carnap and then go through the proofs themselves kind of quickly. Okay, so here's our argument, P and R in square brackets and T, and our conclusion is R, and this space here is where we'll put the proof. So we begin by putting the premise on line 1. We don't need the outermost parentheses, but we do need the parentheses around the P and the R. When you finish typing the truth functional logic sentence, hit tab, and then colon, and we'll put PR. On line 2, we're going to take the P and the R, tab again, colon, conjunction elim, line 1, and we can do the same with the T, although strictly speaking, we don't need that T to complete the proof, but it's fine to put it there. And then on line 4, we'll bring the R down from line 2. Conjunction elim, line 2, and we're done. Okay, here our premise is just the S, so we put that there, tab, colon, PR. Now we're going to use the disjunction introduction rule to get S wedge P. And then on line 3, we can repeat the S wedge P, although it has to be in parentheses, and add the R and the wedge. Disjunction intro, this time line 2. Okay, here we have 2 premises separated by a comma, and our conclusion is Q, so we need to put our first premise on line 1 and our second premise on line 2. You can also, if you want to, include the outermost parentheses. That's up to you. Okay, so we will begin by bringing down the P and the T from line 2. We'll do the same with the R, conjunction elim, again line 2. Now we'll bring the P from line 3 and put it on line 5. Conjunction elim, line 3. Okay, now we need to put the P and the R together with the conjunction introduction rule. Ampersand I. And this is using the R on line 4 and the P on line 5. So we put 4 and 5 separated by a comma. We can make this bigger if we need to, like that. Okay, so now we have P and R, which is the antecedent of the conditional on line 1. So that means using conditional elimination, we can bring down the Q. Tab, colon, dash, greater than sign, E, and that's going to be lines 1 and 6. Okay, here we just have one premise, this whole thing here, and we need parentheses around the P and the Q. and parentheses around the whole P and Q and not R. Okay, so we're going to do conjunction elimination. To get P and Q and not R. We're also going to use conjunction elim on line 1 to get T. Now we want P and Q, conjunction elim line 2, and then P by itself, conjunction elim line 4. Okay, now we'll put the P and the T together using conjunction intro. The T is on line 3 and the P is on line 5, so 3, 5. Okay, so I should have mentioned, you've probably figured it out yourself, when the proof is complete, you get this green bar up here. When each line is correct, you get this plus sign over here on the far right. If there's some mistake, so here on line 4, let's say I put conjunction elim 3 instead of 2, then I'm going to get an X at the end of the line. And because line 4 is wrong, all these subsequent lines are also going to be wrong. Okay, again, we have just the one long premise. Okay, so we can bring down G wedge D, put it on line 2, F and not G, put it on line 3. Now we will use conjunction elim to get F on a line by itself and not G on a line by itself. Okay, now that we have not G, we can use the disjunction elimination rule and get D. That's the D from line 2. Wedge elim 2, and we also needed the not G on line 5. So 2, 5. And then next we can put the D and the F together with the conjunction introduction rule. Ampersand I, what do we got here? 4 and 6. 4, 6. Okay, here we have 3 premises, so we need to put each premise on its own line. Oops. S and T, Q or R, and not R. Okay, so since we have the not R on line 3, we can use disjunction elimination to get Q. Wedge elim 2, 3, and we can bring the T down from line 1. Conjunction elim line 1. And then we can put those two together. Conjunction intro 4 and 5. All right, there we go.